Hello and welcome back to the Lounge with Annette. How you doing? So today is February the 27th and it is Tuesday. And I have 3 more days to come up with the book that I want to read for March. Okay, so I have 3 books in mind. And what I plan to do today is to read chapter 1 of each book. Okay, so let me let you know. One book is Terry McMillian. It's a hardcover, and it is titled I Almost Forgot About You, and it's a novel. The other one is a romance, and it's called, I think it's a romance, it's called Insert Groom Here, and that's by K.M. Jackson. And then the last book is a hood ratchet book, okay? And that's by Latosha Capone, and that's titled Who's the Real Side Bitch? Okay, so that book has profanity in it. If I choose to read it, I will be putting warnings up there that it has profanity in it. So what I'm going to start with is Terry McMillan, Chapter 1 for I Almost Forgot About You first. Okay, so buckle in, sit down for this ride. Hopefully I can get the chapter 1 for each book in under 30 minutes. Okay, so this book was copyrighted in 2016 and 2017. It has 353 pages. Okay, and the first chapter is titled Running Out of Time. It's another exciting Friday night, and I'm curled up in bed, alone of course, propped up by a sea of pillows, still in my lab coat, and the sash so taut it's suffocating the purple silk dress beneath it. But I don't care. After a grueling day of back-to-back patients, I'm a few minutes away from being comatose, but I'm also hungry, which is why I'm channel surfing and waiting for my pizza to get here. I stop when I come to my favorite standby, Law and Order, Criminal Intent. Even though I've seen almost all of them, including the reruns, these days I usually just watch the first 5 or 10 minutes, long enough to see Detective Gorin stride onto the crime scene in his long trench coat, tilt his head to the side while he puts on those rubber gloves, rub the new growth on that beautiful square chin, and bend down to study the victim. It's at this moment, before he utters a word, when I usually pucker up, blow him a kiss, and then change the channel. I've lusted over Detective Goring and yearned to be held against shoulders like his long before my second marriage bottomed out. Truth be told, over the years, I've fallen in love every Wednesday with Gary Lips as CSI Warwick Brown, and even though I was no Trekkie, Avery Brooks' deep baritone and sneaky smile made me say yes aloud to the TV. I also let myself be seduced for hours in dark theaters, hypnotized by Benicio del Toro's dreamy eyes, even though he was a criminal. By Denzel's swagger when he was a slick gangster. Brad Pitt as a sexy young thief. Ken Wannabe as the most sensual Sumari, I don't know how to pronounce that, I wanted to ride on a horse with, and I wanted to be a black geisha and torture him until I finally let him have all of me. I hate to admit it, but if I had the energy, I'd kill to have sex with the first one who walked into my bedroom tonight. I let him do anything he wanted to do to me. It's been centuries since I've had sex with a real man, and I'm not even sure I'd remember what to do first, should I ever get so lucky again. In fact, I think I'd be too uncomfortable, not to mention scared of getting all touchy-feely, and don't even get me started on him seeing me naked. Hell, this is why I sleep with the remote. When I hear the doorbell, I glance over to the broken blue clouds inside the clock on the nightstand. I've been waiting 40 minutes for this pizza, which means they're going to owe me a free one. I roll off the bed on my side. Even though the other side has been empty for years, I walk over to the door and yell, "Be right there." Then I grab my wallet out of my purse and beeline it to the front door because I'm starving. That is so not true. I'm just a little hungry. I'm trying to stop lying to myself about little things. I'm still working on the big ones. I open the door, and standing there sweating is a young black kid who can't be more than 18. His head looks like a small globe of shiny black twists that I know are bad baby dreadlocks. His cheeks are full of brand new zits. His name tag says free. "I'm so sorry for the delay, ma'am. There was an accident at the bottom of the hill and I couldn't get up here, so this one's on the house." He looks so sad, and I'm wondering if the price of this pizza is going to be deducted from his little paycheck, but I dare not ask. "I don't mind paying for it," I say. "It wasn't your fault there was an accident." I take the pizza from him and set it on the metal stairwell. "That's real thoughtful of you, but I'm just glad this is my last delivery for the night," he says, leaning to one side as if he's pretending not to look behind me, but of course he is. "This is a real nice crib you got here. I ain't never seen no yellow floors before. It's downright wicked." "Thanks," I say, and hand him a 20. He looks as if he's in shock. "Like I said, ma'am, this pizza is on the house, and I also got some drink coupons you can have too," he says, pulling them out of his pocket of his red shirt. "It's a tip," I say. "Is your real name Free?" "Yes, ma'am." "How do you feel about it?" "I dig it. I get asked all the time about it." "So how old are you, Free?" "I'm 18. He's still staring at the 20, but then quickly shoves it inside the back pocket of his jeans in case I come to my senses and change my mind. "Are you in college?" I'm hoping he says yes and that he's taking English so one day soon he'll stop saying ain't. "Almost. That's why I'm working. You're really giving me this whole 20? I nod. "Do you know what you want to major in?" "Mechanical engineering," he says with certainty. "That's great. Your husband's rich?" "What makes you think I have to have a husband to be rich?" "Everybody that live up in these hills is, even them two dykes that live next door, and they're married." "Those dykes aren't just my neighbors. They are also my friends, and they're lesbians." "Alright, my bad," he says, flinging his arm up like don't shoot. "I didn't mean no harm." "I know. Anyway, I'm divorced, and I'm not rich, but I also don't struggle." "You cleaned him out then, huh?" "No." Then he gives me the once over. "You some kind of doctor?" I look down at my lab coat. "Yes, I'm an optometrist. Optometrist. "Which one is that?" "I help people see clearly." "Okay." I say so as not to complicate it. "Who helps you?" he asks with a smile, which throws me completely off. What a loaded question to ask a woman old enough to be his grandmother. "Just fooling with you, Dr. Young. No disrespect intended." "None taken, Free." "Who helps me see?" "See what?" "Cool. Well, look, I gotta dash and get this car back to my cousin, but major thanks for the mega tip. And I have to say it's nice somebody black gave it to me. Most of the white folks up here ain't big on tipping except for them lesbians." What he just said was a little on the racist and sexist side, but I know he meant well. He run down the sidewalk and jumps into that raggedy car of his, removes the pizza sign displayed on top, and disappears down the hill. I lean against the door frame watching him go. I really should have praised him for working to pay for college, and if he hadn't been in such a hurry, I would have loved to tell him that he might find his calling in college and he might not. But I also tell him to search until he did. Otherwise, he could end up doing something he just happened to be good at, something respectable that might guarantee him a nice income. But one day, when he's older, like say 53, soon to be 54, when his kids have grown up and he's twice divorced and bored with his profession, And his life and the thought of trying to change it all, or even where he lives, scares the hell out of him because it feels like it's too late. I'll tell him to please figure out a way to do it anyway, since I'm an excellent example of what can happen when you don't. I turn off the porch light, close the door, and I can't believe all of this is flooded in. I walk across these cool yellow concrete floors and sit on these cool metal stairs and look out at the light jutting up through the soft naval blue waves in the cool bottom pool. And I look up a flight where both of my daughters used to sleep. And I look down to where the library and the guest rooms are. And I sit here and eat this entire cheese and tomato pizza. I am full of regrets. Okay, so that's technically not the end of that chapter. I just wanted to read that because there's more, and I wanted to get to the other books. Okay, so that's that one. Again, that is Terry McMillian. I almost forgot about you. Okay, now let me read the next one. The next one is insert Groom here. And this one was copyrighted in 2017. And it's 22 chapters. And the author is K.M. Jackson. And it doesn't say what kind of book it is. So I'm going to just say it seemed kind of like romance. Okay, let me see how many pages is chapter 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Let's see. Let's see how far I read here. I can't marry you. Eva Ward knew words were being murmured over her shoulder, but for the life of her, she couldn't quite make them out. The red light above the camera transfixed her, and Kevin's voice sounded like it came from somewhere far away, as if from down a long corridor. To top things off, she was fighting a chill. The temperature in the blasted television studio had to be set at 50 degrees at the highest. Eva thought about the frigid air a moment and hoped the cold didn't show on her face, or, Lord help her, anywhere else on her anatomy. That would be all she needed, for her nipples to make a surprise appearance on national morning television. Eva pushed back a frown as she brought her thoughts back to the blasted red light and Kevin. Okay, focus time. What is he going on about? I can't marry you, Kevin repeated, and Eva blinked. Wait, what? Wait, what? Jim Burrow, the morning show co-host, took Eva's confused thoughts and echoed them out loud, punctuated with his usual everyman laugh. But this was a bad time to laugh. In fact, it was the absolute worst time to laugh. I don't think we heard you correctly, Kevin. It sounded for a moment like you were calling off the wedding. Eva fought to keep her smile in place as Kevin turned from her to Jim. That's right, Jim, I am. She blinked again as the words really began to sink in. He is calling off what? Anger bubbled up, heating even more quickly than could possibly be safe. She caught another glimpse of the red light and forced herself to push it back down. Hold on there. This is not the time to go off the rails, Eva told herself. She could do this. She practiced being on live TV and she'd been put on the spot plenty of times. She was training for these moments. Media relations was her job, for Christ's sake. Eva pulled her attention away from the maddening red light that reminded her millions of people were watching this debacle over their morning coffee and toast. Instead, she plastered on a well-trained smile and focused on what her fiancé, Kevin, and the talk show co-host were now saying. But try as she might, she couldn't wrap her head around the words as they trickled towards her in dribs and dabs. Something about being confused, Kevin said. Just not the right time, he went on. And wait, did she really hear the words moving too fast? Hold up. This was madness. It was as if she was having some sort of odd bout of both inner and out-of-body experience. She couldn't get the two to gel. But she had to because Kevin was talking about her as if she wasn't there, sitting by his side on TV, national freaking TV. It was time to take control of the situation. Eva blinked again, her lashes feeling thick and gloppy from the extra coat of mascara, plus the individual false lashes that makeup woman had put on her that morning. She had thought they were a bit much at times. Now she was afraid that with all the ridiculous blinking she was doing, she probably looked like Bambi gone drag. Eva forced her eyes wide as if that would somehow make her appear saner and stare at Kevin. Oh hell, Mr. Smooth was starting to sweat, despite the fact that if it was 2 degrees colder, you'll be able to see your breath as you welcome Satan into the studio. His sleek, ultra-groomed, dark cocoa skin was starting to glisten, and Eva now noticed a hint of fear in his eyes. Eva's heart raced, but despite this, she caught Kevin's eyes and gave him a smile that she hoped said, "Come on, honey, don't lose your cool now," as she reached over gave his hand a pat. She could do this, just a little damage control, and she'd reel this right in. Eva turned to her other side and looked at Diane Parker, one of the morning show's other co-hosts, but Diane's blue eyes only seemed to mirror Eva's own internal confusion. Just perfect. No help from Blondie. So Eva turned her gaze to Jim. Good old Jim. Surely Mr. All-American would help save the day. But in that moment, a clear sound finally reached Eva's ears. Punctuated by good old Jim's good old laugh. The loud, false pang rang against her eardrums. "Ha ha! Good one, Kev," Jim said as Eva took in the obvious tension playing around the corners of his mouth, causing some of his pancake makeup to crease. "Of course you're joking." "No, Jim, I'm not," Kevin said, his voice clear, strong, and surprisingly absolute as he turned Eva's way. "I'm sorry, Eva. I can't go through with this." Despite her best effort at bracing, Eva winced as the words penetrated. The full impact hit her like a crosstown bus trying to make up for lost times. This was not happening. It couldn't be happening. Not here, not now, not to her. I'm going to stop there so I can read the next book. Child? Okay. Okay, so the next one is going to be Who's the Real Side Bitch? And that's by Latosha Capone. Okay, let's see. Do it say how many chapters it have? Okay, it don't say how many chapters it have. It was copyrighted in 2018. And let's see how many pages is chapter 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. Okay, of course, I'm not going to read all 10 pages, but you ready? Okay. Tabitha dialed Bugatti's cell phone number 3 times, and the closer she got to him answering the phone was hearing the sound of his sultry voice, giving her the option to leave a message. For some odd reason, unbeknownst to her, he wasn't accepting any of her calls, and the bullshit Bugatti was pulling had Tabitha instantly ready to go into bitch mode. "Oh, this motherfucker must think shit's sweet," Tabitha thought as she dismissed the notion to leave a message and decided to text him instead. She had been with Bugatti for 3 years and had never felt so damn disrespected. Before she could proceed with sending her profanity-filled text message, Bugatti's picture and number popped up on her Android screen. When Tabitha answered, she knew he wouldn't be ready for her thunderous wrath. "Hey, yo, Tabitha, what's up?" Bugatti said when she picked up on the 3rd ring. She let him get the first sentence out, but was surely going to have the last word. "What the fuck you mean, yo, Tabitha, what's up? What the hell is up with you not coming home all night and then not calling all day?" she asked him, curious for an answer. Tabitha heard a slight stutter, but she didn't give Bugatti a chance to form words or a chance to make up a lie. A small fraction of fear came over her because she had never spoken to Bugatti like this before. But to balance it out, she also felt a bit of courage, maybe due to the glass of Courvoisier she halfway held balanced in her drunken right hand. Nonetheless, whenever Tabitha got mad, her mouth was like a razor blade. It was pure reckless. You must have fell and bumped your motherfucking head if you think I'm gonna sit over here on my pretty ass and let you play me, she said as her ears heard Bugatti let out a loud sigh. Hey yo, calm the fuck down with all that killer one shit, Bugatti said the second Tabitha stopped talking and finally gave him a chance to state his claim. Damn, your ass always acting fucking crazy when you know I'm out in these streets trying to keep us from starving. Bugatti spat while Tabitha sat in her empty apartment still filled with rage. She paced her breathing to become more relaxed. Unfortunately, the decision she made to go beast mode on Bugatti wasn't actually working in her favor. She could hear it in his voice that he was pissed too, and now he reacted to her mistake. And who the fuck do you think you're talking to? He spat in a malicious tone. Bugatti got quiet as if he was waiting for Tabitha to answer his question, but she voted to remain silent. Tabitha knew she had already gone too far with the way she had spoken to him, and she made the conscious decision to not push his buttons any further. Instead, she tapped her long pink and baby blue acrylic tipped fingernails on the coffee table and nonchalantly sipped her drink while listening to his voice beam through her Bluetooth. Now, I'm sorry I didn't call you last night, but I got caught up handling some important business at the barbershop. When I left the shop, I stopped at my pop's house to check on him, he further fabricated. What kind of important business you got caught up taking care of, Bugatti? He never missed a night away from her in the course of their relationship, so Tabitha wanted to know what was the cause of all of a sudden change now. Look, Tabitha, you know I don't go into details about the things I do out in these streets. Just know that I was finding new ways to make our cash flow keep flowing. Plus this grand opening week at the barbershop, and we decided to keep the shop open for 24 hours to generate extra income. Tabitha sucked her teeth and the nail tapping became louder. Bugatti could hear it through the phone and knew that Tabitha was upset because of his sudden absence from home the night prior. Yeah, he knew she was mad, but he didn't care. He was doing him. Bugatti, do you expect and believe that y'all kept the barbershop open for 24 hours just for a few measly dollars? What barbershop in the hood stays open for that long? Is that the best lie you can come up with? She asked while impatiently waiting for his comeback. Tabitha felt that Bugatti was really trying her patience, not to mention the story he was trying to sell her was not a valid reason for him to not be answering his phone all night and then again all day. She damn near acted like a stalker, calling him over 30 times and leaving him countless voicemails. Dang, Tabitha, I'm a grown-ass man and don't have to lie to you. You're absolutely right. What barbershop does stay open for 24 hours? None. And that's why we decided to be the first. It was a crazy thought at first, but then after discussing it with the crew, we decided maybe it wasn't as far-fetched as it sounded. So basically, we made a last-minute choice to try it out. Not everyone has a 9-to-5, Tabitha. Some dudes are working the late shift and don't get off till midnight or shit, sometimes later than that. So me and the crew wanted to make a shop suitable for everybody's needs. We decided to take into consideration everyone's work hours. This way, we're making it possible for people to get their hair cut at late hours of the night if they can't make it earlier. The idea was brilliant because we generated just as much money on the graveyard shift as we did in the morning hours. Bugatti was trying to convince Tabitha that the story he was making up was actually the truth. Was she buying it? Hell, he really don't know. So why you wasn't picking up your phone, Bugatti? Tabitha asked him in a suspicious tone. Bugatti paused and went into deep thought for a minute. He swore that ever since he met Tabitha 3 years ago, one of her favorite pastime hobbies was sitting on her unemployed ass watching court shows. Her favorite being back-to-back episodes of Law and Order. Interesting. Between watching Divorce Court, The People's Court, Judge Mathis, and reruns of Matlock, she was treating him like he was on trial for infidelity. If so, he figured that he was guilty until proven innocent, but dealing with Tabitha, it was distinctively the other way around. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and this is what I want your help with. Okay, so I like all three books. And I don't know. Okay, so I think book number 2 is my first choice. Book number 3 is my second choice. And book number 1 is my last choice. So just to reiterate, Terry McMillian's book is my last choice. The one I just finished reading is my second choice. And insert Groom here is my first choice. So in the comments below, after listening to the books I read, let me know which one you might like. I'm gonna put in a description my order, and then you let me know which one in the comments you would be interested in. And if I don't hear anything by the end of this month, I'm just gonna pick what I pick for my book for March. So until my next video, see y'all later. Bye.